coming from, I can call Japan.
Yes,
right?
you can.
Yeah, okay, come from Japan, and he is actually, I would say, being around in the space for a long time. Okay, and today he's doing some projects in Thailand. I have a chance to have his interview here, and please welcome Mr. Daniel Friedman, CEO and founder of Cengate Global. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Daniel, can you introduce yourself to all of us here?
Sure. Would you like me to look at the camera?
Yeah, it's all right. Okay. Just keep.
Okay. Well, my name is Daniel Friedman, as you kindly pointed out. Yeah. So my background is actually, I'm originally from the Ukraine.
All right, okay.
I was born in Ukraine during the communist era.
Right.
Immigrated to the United States with my parents when I was in middle school. Grew up in the U.S., went to school in the U.S., which is why I sound American, when I am American. And after which I moved to Japan a little over 10 years ago, and I've been in Japan ever since. As far as just the IT field, I've been in the IT field for probably close to 25 years now. So I started during the dot-com boom back in the 90s.
All right.
And continued on when it became the dot-com crash, and then basically this whole period of industry readjustment, trying to find what has value, what it doesn't have value, just like any new innovative industry has. The internet went through the same phase.
So how do you get in the space?
Yeah, so that's basically it takes me to where to where I am now. While the movement, the original kind of excitement behind the internet revolution was really just it was fun to work in. It was a good environment. It kind of faded out when the market went down, and there were a lot of people who are just kind of leaving the space and decided, it's not worth it, or they're going to do something else, or there wasn't this excitement of innovation happening anymore. However, for myself, I was always fascinated with internet, and well, not just internet, but innovation and net-based innovation. And so I was searching for something that really truly inspires me to get into an innovative field or an innovative state of mind. And so at around 2015, maybe late 2014, I started really kind of exploring at that point Bitcoin and blockchain. Had some friends in Japan that were into Bitcoin, and just they were making a lot of noise about it. So started kind of thinking about what is the big deal, and just became fascinated with this industry, just simply because at first I didn't understand what was the value proposition. I didn't, and I have a lot of experience in IT and technology, and I still needed well, you see, I understood what it was, but I wanted to know what's under the hood.
All right.
And how does it what problems does it solve? And at that point, the narrative was really limited. It was either really simple, like animations that really didn't do anything for me, or it was something like, the MIT school of something explaining consensus algorithms. And I said, okay, no, I need something in the middle. I need something that's giving me a mid-level overview and a little bit of technical stuff so that I can grasp what the real revolution is all about. And so at around 2015, 2016, I started getting more and more into blockchain. And around 2016,
Can I say that time you understood it, but you didn't feel it? Is that right?
I wasn't excited by it. I understood it, but I wasn't excited about it. I didn't see it as a paradigm shifting movement, like the internet was back in the 90s. However, as I started to kind of explore it more and more, again, it was through acquaintances and friends that were into the technology that kind of led me down the right direction. I found input-output, which was just getting started at that point. It was literally a couple of months after it was created. And Input Output, as some of your viewers might know, is the creator of Cardano.
All right.
And this was literally a couple of months after Cardano, the idea of Cardano started to become a reality with development with an actual company. Literally a few months after Charles kind of came up with the idea. And so I joined Input Output in early 2016. And at that point, it was a really small company, maybe about 10 people.
10 people?
Yeah. I was, I think, number 5 or 6 in the company. It's over 500 people now. I believe maybe 600. There's so many new people now, I don't even know a lot of them anymore. But
the organization gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And so I followed Cardano on this journey, which kind of, I was part, you would say, of the founding team, the original team.
What is actually impressed you? I mean, that you open your mind to Cardano at that time?
It really,
It seems like that company at that time is pretty small, right?
It was speaking to Charles. And I'll tell you, I saw the website, the Input Output website at that point, and I still didn't get it. I saw the code, and I still didn't get what is so special about this. What is so special about the approach that they're using.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of interviews with Input Output before I joined, and I believe my second interview was with Charles remotely.
All right.
I was in Japan, he was in Colorado, and that really changed my mind about the whole thing. He was so passionate, yet not delusional about the possibilities of what can be reached. But the vision was so grand, and yet so
there's a thin line between that two words,
and
right?
yet so vivid.
All right.
That it just really kind of took me out of my skeptic mode and put me into my the I get it mode.
All right.
And so that was really it. That was really what changed it. And until this day, I will always say that Charles Hoskinson, speaking to Charles Hoskinson for the first time, really was the pivotal moment that really kind of got me to switch from I don't really get this. I mean, I get it, but I don't really get what's the big deal to okay, now I get it. It is a big deal. It is a paradigm shifting technology. It's just really early.
All right. Okay. When was that time?
Early 2016.
Early 2016.
So it was about 6 years ago.
All right. 6 years ago, you have a chance to talk to Charles one time, and that kind of opened your mind up?
Yeah, it was a pretty long conversation, about an hour and a half. He was interviewing me for the job. At that point, he was interviewing everybody personally, because there was only a handful of people. And so, when he interviewed me personally, and we had this conversation, it wasn't really an interview. It was more kind of like a conversation. He was just kind of giving me his vision. He was giving me his plans. He was telling me what it was going to be like, what he sees things, how he sees things evolving, and it just really kind of had a profound impact on me.
Then after that, what have you been? I mean, how you come from there to here, Ergo? Can you tell us a short story?
So the founder of Ergo has actually been working with Charles even longer than I have.
All right.
Since I think maybe 2014 or 15, at least 2015. Alex Cipollone is the founder of Ergo, and Alex is a really famous researcher, cryptographer. He did a lot of work for Cardano, and in fact, a lot of the technologies that Cardano uses are powered by his research.
Yes.
And so I've known Alex, and I've been friends with Alex for
a long time.
For some years now, just through being workmates. We're both Russian speaking, so we also have that connection where we can communicate, in the native tongue.
Okay.
And as you know,
so Russian is going to be your native.
My native language is Russian, yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. At the time when I grew up in Ukraine, the main language of the Soviet Union was Russian. So everybody grew up speaking Russian and the local language. And so at around 2019, Alex decided to start Ergo.
All right.
And really, Ergo was, as Charles calls it, a spiritual successor to Bitcoin. So it had those Bitcoin fundamentals and a lot of the founding, the thinking, the Satoshi Nakamoto really fundamental thinking, but with smart contracts, with all this generation 2 and generation 3 blockchain tooling, smart contracts, native assets, things like the EUTXO accounting model, which is also something that Cardano uses. Just all these different privacy tooling that's really robust, DeFi tooling that's really robust, and it's really kind of this just down to the origins type of blockchain, this really feels, and again, this is Charles's words, it just feels like early Bitcoin.
You are talking about proof of work.
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Because many of us at this time may not know about Ergo much. Okay, can you explain a little bit what's the difference between Cardano and Ergo?
Well, sure. So the main difference is the consensus protocol. So the consensus protocol, the type of consensus protocol Cardano uses is called proof of stake.
All right.
The consensus protocol that Ergo uses is called proof of work.
All right.
The main differences are that in proof of work, it's all about hashing power, and it's all about how much hashing power your mining rig has, which is basically a specially built computer that processes transactions. And the more hashing power you have, the more chances you have to earn mining fees and earn more of the base of the native coin, in this case Ergo. So proof of work done right is a very kind of honest type of straightforward type of consensus algorithm. It's again just you put in the work, you get the payout. The more work you put in, the more payout you get. So that is really good for a lot of for networks that are run by people that choose how much they want to invest in the infrastructure. People that are also for proof of work, for example, the security assumptions are a lot more researched and explored just simply because proof of work has been around much longer than proof of stake. So the security assumptions that have been being researched and explored since 2009, 2010. So you got about at least 10 years, 12 years of research into these things, among other things, just simply because the consensus protocol has been around the longest. Proof of work is, on the other hand, it is also an honest consensus protocol in a way where it's more of a democratic approach to how you earn through securing the network. Basically, anytime you have a mining rig that secures the network, so decentralizes the network, the more hashing power, the more decentralization the network has, the more secure it is. The same thing with proof of stake. Proof of stake, decentralization helps security. And so with proof of stake, the idea is that you don't need big hardware, right? So a staking node can be set up in Cardano. A staking node can be set up with very minimal hardware. You can set up a staking node with a Raspberry Pi and just very, very simple hardware and run a staking pool. You can do it with AWS and just very, very kind of straightforward type of way to set up the staking node. Now, the staking node is called a staking pool. And the consensus algorithm that powers Cardano is called delegated proof of stake. And so delegated proof of stake basically means that you can, so your coins that you hold has a stake in the ecosystem of the decentralized ledger that it's in. And the more
you stake,
the more coins you have, and the more you commit it to you commit it to the network, the bigger your stake return becomes. So basically, the more you secure the network, the more staking rewards you get. Now, with pools, of course, the bigger the pool, the more staking rewards it has. However, with Cardano, delegated proof of stake means that you never actually have to send the coins to the pool. What you do is you delegate. You delegate the stake to the pool. The coins stay with you, so you have full control of your crypto. And basically the more stake the pool has delegated to it, the more
earning reward.
The more rewards, the more possibility it has to earn rewards, because rewards are generated randomly. The slot leaders are picked randomly, but the more stake you have, the more regular rewards you can receive.
More chance.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is more of a democratic type of way. It's more of a, and again, it's more of kind of like, it reminds me of more of a free market type of way of doing a consensus, because really the pools aren't just there just humming away. They really have to incentivize delegators to stake with them, because the return is the same pretty much in every single pool. It's around a little bit under 5%, or around 5% depending on the pool. But there's not much difference between the different staking pools, how much return or how much how many rewards you get, what kind of percentage you get. But what that does is creates a free marketplace where pools create their own incentives for delegating to them. So, for example, some pools, what they'll do is they're going to be mission driven. So, for example, Break Stake Pool, Kunmei Stake Pool is also mission driven. Because when she uses part of her delegated proceeds to deliver food and kind of do all these good deeds, and so this is a very good example
to convince people.
To show people that you're not just sitting there collecting staking rewards, you're actually doing something. Exactly, contributing something. And so you don't have to be mission driven, but that's just one example of incentive to stake with the staking pool. So that's basically the main difference between the two.
That's nice. You mentioned about proof of work have been in the space for a longer time. And it's kind of easy, I can say that, right? Easy to implement the project on proof of work because we have a lot of research, a lot more than proof of stake. If I'm not counting that, I mean, if like 10 years, 20 years later, proof of stake also got many researches. What do you think about proof of work?
I still think proof of work is very relevant. I think that in the future we're going to see hybrid protocols, like for example, what the Minotaur paper explores that has been put out by Input Output, proof of useful work.
Die, in your opinions, will not die. It's going to
I don't think so. I think it'll evolve. I think there's going to be an evolution. Even Ergo basically evolved proof of stake. It created, or proof of work, I'm sorry, it created ways to utilize a repurposed hardware. You can basically mine Ergo on a used laptop.
Right.
So your requirements, your barrier of entry is really low to get into Ergo, to get into mining Ergo. So that is a big thing. We have a protocol adjustment addition called PoW, which is basically giving you an ability to create a more compact mining devices. And so, like I said, there's
it's got to be hybrid.
I believe in the hybrid model. Again, there has to be a lot of research done to it. But I don't think some people are saying, "Oh, proof of work is going away." It's not going anywhere. I think it's in a stage of evolution right now. There's still a lot of value add from proof of work, and I believe that through research we'll find a way to kind of use a hybrid model.
Okay, I understand. So let's get back. Thank you for providing us a very nice background. I think everyone should get benefit from this. Okay, and I heard that you are coming here to implement some projects and initiate some things. Okay, can you tell us about the project here?
Sure. So Thailand, of course, is a big epicenter of the world precious metal and jewelry trade.
All right.
And so the platform that that my team and I are creating at Zengate is the name of Zengate Global is the name of our company, and in particular the platform is called Palmyra.
All right.
So Palmyra is a tokenized commodity exchange that is specializing in what we call semi-fungible commodities, and it is the first tokenized commodity exchange that deals with physically settled commodities, meaning that the tokenization actually happens when there is a real commodity
coming out
behind the token. So it's not just
one to one.
Yeah. It's basically it's not just a representation of the idea of a commodity, but it's actual goods that are tokenized and then traded using the platform, and then again physically settled once the trade happens and once the contract matures. Now, the difference here is that traditionally commodities are highly fungible. Okay. Like for example, iron ore, like for example, silver, crude oil. What it means is that it doesn't matter whose commodity it is, it just only matters if it falls under a certain standard. And so that allows for a lot of access to financing, to logistics, to trade floors. So there's a really big network set up that that fuels all this business. What happens is while these highly fungible commodities can enjoy this robust market and robust access, you have a lot of commodities that are semi-fungible.
All right.
That are also really huge markets, but they don't have the same access because what they have are subsets. So for example, tea is a good example of a semi-fungible commodity. While you have large lots of Ceylon tea or green tea or black tea or jasmine tea, there's still too many varieties to really just put it on the commodities exchange as tea. You can't just say tea because it has to be
the type of tea.
The type of tea. And so legacy markets are not equipped to handle such subsets. Now, using tokenization and using blockchain technology allows us for still being able to commoditize and to futurize even with these subsets. And so what happens is you basically create the same financial tool as you would in a regular commodity with a semi-fungible commodity. You create a spot market, you create a futures market, where the commodity, if it has, depending on its shelf life, can have a trading life as well, just like you would with a highly fungible commodity. You get a lot of more access to financing for the commodity creators and a lot of more access to new revenue streams for the commodity creators, and vice versa. People who have not, who are interested in getting into fields that they have not gotten into and trading or buying or selling semi-fungible commodities now have this platform to do so.
Interesting.
Now, getting to what we're doing in Thailand.
Not tea?
Well, we're not. Actually, we just signed an MOU with the Sri Lankan Tea Factory Association, who is this association makes up the bulk of all the tea factories and plantations in Sri Lanka.
What kind of tea?
It's a Ceylon tea.
Ceylon tea.
Yeah, Ceylon tea, which is world famous, and Sri Lanka makes up about, I believe, something like 50% of all trade. So we're starting with tea over there. Now, Thailand is different, right?
Yes.
In Thailand, you do have a lot of these resources, and you do have a lot of resources in precious metals, for example. The Thai gold is world famous. Now, of course, gold is already commoditized. So you're asking why gold? Gold is commoditized. However, what happens is, in the case of Thai gold,
What's different?
well, the difference is actually purity.
Purity.
Yeah, Thai gold is, I believe, is 96.5% pure, and LBMA gold is, I believe, 99% pure. So the purity level is different. Thai gold is made is combined with small parts of silver to make it strong.
All right.
And so Thai gold is unique in that perspective. And so what happens with gold is that, again, you have companies that are trading in gold. Like, for example, our pilot partner in Thailand. However, these companies, like, for example, our partner, they spent a lot of money on sustainability, a lot of money on transparency, a lot of money on branding. And so when you actually put it up into the commodities market, you lose all of this brand, right? You just basically just becomes gold, and there's a set price, and it doesn't matter whose you buy it.
That's why we need blockchain for that.
This is why we need blockchain. This is why I need Palmyra. Palmyra allows for we call brand retention. And so brand retention basically means that while you do not, so the price is already set, right? The price is not decided by the company. The price is decided by an organization, a gold, council of gold manufacturers and makers that decide the price every day. They decide what is the price for today, and everybody has to, sell for that price. While that is not up to the individual company, what is up to them is the ability to not just say that this is gold, but to show that this is their gold. And because their reputation is so well known, it'll give the customer the ability to choose to buy their gold and not just gold. Aside from that, what it will give them is, so Palmyra is also coupled with things like traceability, things like authentication, tools like digital identities. And all these tools allow for transparency and allow for a trustless environment to exist, so that the buyer and the seller don't have to have some sort of a trust-based relationships. All they have to do is just trust the ledger. Is the technology. Technology does it for them. So, for example, traceability is a very important tool for a pilot partner because of the sustainability and the transparency that they have spent this much money and incorporated into their processes. Our traceability component built into Palmyra allows them to preserve that and accumulate the data. And so not only does that help them do their business and helps them transfer value to the business that is purchasing the gold, it also allows the business that purchases the gold to continue this stream to their customers. So while Palmyra is a B2B platform, business to business, the people that source the materials from Palmyra, the individual MSMEs, the jewelry makers, that will source the gold from Palmyra and basically from our pilot partner, will then have all this information already attached with it. So certifications, if this LBMA or not, what is the purity, third-party laboratory testing. In the case of, say, tea, it would be certified organics, certifications from export agencies. So all these credentials are already attached to it in a digital form that will be verifiable through distributed ledgers, and this information can be passed on to the end consumer. Yeah, to the end consumer, who can then verify that this in fact is the product that the seller claims it is, without really having to develop any kind of relationship with the seller. All they do is they have to just go and utilize the
Scan
technology.
QR and they know everything.
QR codes, it could be done with RFIDs. There's various ways of doing it.
All right, so it's kind of breaking down all components of that jewelry. Is that right?
Exactly.
And the consumer will know exactly where the gold came from. So
Exactly.
also, diamonds or other type of jewelry as well.
Yeah, potentially you can do
Gemstone.
diamonds with it. Although right now we're focusing on Thai gold, and we believe that we can add a lot of value to Thai gold. We can preserve the Thai gold brand through tokenization. We can bring more international business to Thailand because Thai gold is famous. But with the use of Palmyra, there'll be more access. And there'll be more variety, and that's basically all it is. It's all about what we at Zengate call opportunity inclusion. And opportunity inclusion is basically a concept that doesn't kind of put everybody in the same place as far as their ability, right? We understand that what are called even ground or level playing fields are not really sustainable, because there's always going to be somebody who's got just a little bit more money, a little bit more experience. You can't make everything the same. That's communism, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I grew up in a communism.
It's not equal.
It's not. But what you can do is through this technology, give them the opportunity or the ability to be included in the opportunity. So the opportunity to work with the world market, the opportunity to grow their business, the opportunity to gain customers, to gain momentum. It is up to them if they want to take this opportunity.
The grab or not?
Yeah, exactly. So you can't force people to succeed. You have to allow them to make the choice. If they make the choice that they want to succeed, all it does is sets them up in an environment where they are given access to the opportunity that helps them succeed.
All right, understand. It's kind of provide them equal opportunity.
Equal in a way, yes, in a way. It's equal ability to take advantage of an opportunity.
All right, equal ability to take advantage of an opportunity. Understand.
Absolutely, that's it.
Okay. So apart from gold, what do you think about other commodities in Thailand? Any opportunity here?
Absolutely. We were just talking about potentially later down the line working with mangkut,
Mangkut, right.
Mangosteens,
Mangosteen.
Which is actually my personal favorite. It's like my favorite fruit in the world is mangosteen.
Okay.
Whenever I come to Thailand, I just always eat about like this much of it. Potentially get into the produce market, the rice and grains market in Thailand, because there is a lot of rice that comes from Thailand. Potentially get into some different gemstones, maybe semi-precious gemstones, something that's got larger lots. Silver, another one is another commodity that I believe we could potentially use. So definitely, there's a lot of opportunity here. We're really excited about being in Thailand. I personally love Thailand.
Okay.
I've been here many times. And just really excited about the opportunity to really work with with an industry like the Thai gold industry that is just so famous and well known for so many years, and just to be able to do something where we can bring innovation to the industry and potentially provide them with more opportunity to kind of grow even beyond what they already are.
Okay, that's kind of resources side. Okay, so what do you think about, a technical side, let's say, developers, something like that. What do you think about Thailand?
I think that there's a lot of good developers in Thailand. I've met some really good ones. Actually, I met some really good people so the last time I was in Thailand was in July, end of July this year. And with the help of Kun Mei, I was able to meet some of the local developers and the local Thai developers that are actually also interested in Cardano. And Blockchain development, top notch, I think. Really smart people. I also believe that there is a lot of room to do training here and to bring new talent into the space.
That could be the next project.
Yeah, actually, that's something that we're already working on with the university out here.
All right.
Potentially creating courses and creating blockchain courses and more specifically starting with business for blockchain and then potentially creating more specific courses that have to do more with the actual technical aspect of it, where you would train developers and systems architects and people that are specializing in actually creating the back end, the nooks and crannies of the product.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, come to our very last questions about Cardano. Let's say people worry about Cardano so much at this time, especially the price. I know we are not talking about the price much most of the times, but a lot of you guys always worry about that. Can you explain something to them? Why the project still keep going on, right? And
of course, building doesn't stop. Price doesn't change our ability or our schedule or our delivery. We're still working. We're still doing the same stuff that we're going to do, regardless if the price is sky high or super low. Input output is just fine. There's nothing to worry about. Cardano is just fine. There's a lot of activity going on in Cardano. There's a lot of development, not just from input output, but from other parties in the ecosystem that are not directly connected to input output. Like, for example, a company called DC Spark is a great example of a Cardano ecosystem company that is just kind of was born by itself. And there's other businesses in Cardano that are building right now. So the building doesn't stop. Zengate is building on Cardano and Ergo right now. We didn't stop. It doesn't matter to us what the Cardano price is because we're not worried about the price. We're worried about we concern ourselves with technology. We concern ourselves with ability. Are the tools still there? Yes. Are the Ergo tools still there for us to build the same stuff as if Ergo was 10 times more than in price than it is now? Yes. So it's really about the value. It's not about the price. Price goes up and down. It's about trick value of what the tooling does. Okay, and what abilities does it give you to create your own business? And so that's basically what I would say to anybody who's worried about price. Markets recover; they always do. We're in the middle of a bear market right now. Take it for what it is. If you're worried about price, the best thing to do for you right now is to not look at the price. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Do you need money right now? If you don't, and you have crypto, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Go outside. Go take a stroll. Go be with your family. There's more things in the world to worry about than crypto prices. Put it away. Don't look at it. Give it time. We're spoiled in this market. I believe that we're so spoiled that we look at something and if in a week it doesn't moon, this is what was going on. I didn't I just put in $1,000. I haven't made $1 million yet. It doesn't exist in other markets. And we have to really understand that for our particular industry, our particular market to evolve, we have to accept the fact that we need more patience.
Yes.
That if you make an investment in the legacy market, chances are that you're going to have to wait several years to actually capitalize on the investment properly. The same thing with crypto. Don't expect to be a millionaire overnight. It just chances are really high that it's not going to happen. But do expect for patience and research DYOR to create a smart investment portfolio for yourself that will succeed just given the right amount of time. So it's all about patience.
Okay, that's a very good conclusions. Since during this time is about Christmas and also New Year, can you say something to the fans? They can look at the cameras
sure.
and then.
Sure. So yeah, it is just about that time of the year. Some of you might celebrate Christmas. Some of you might celebrate Hanukkah like I do. Whatever other holidays fall during the season, I would like to wish everybody happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Okay. Thank you very much for today, for joining us. It's so nice to talk
Thank
to
you.
you today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.